Hi everybody, welcome back to Mando Lessons. Today we're going to work on the tune The Wayfaring Stranger. It's actually a song, but we're going to be just doing the melody of it today. I'm going to be playing it in the key of E minor. It's a great melody. I'm going to play it once so you can get a sense of what it sounds like, and then I'll break it down into sections. I'm going to add in some tremolo and some double stops and some chords with the melody. And I'll break it down to just the melody and then also show you how to throw in those double stops and chords at the end of the lesson as well. So, if you like this lesson, visit mandolessons.com for more lessons. There's tablature, standard notation, and chords to play along with the melody over at mandolessons.com. Also, if you feel like you got something out of this lesson and want to throw me a quick little tip, I've got a PayPal button over on Mando Lessons, as well as a monthly subscription through Patreon, which comes with some little perks for you. But back to the music here, and I'll jump into it. Play it once and then break it down. Key of E minor. 1, 2, 3. So that's the form. I kind of think of it as an AABA form. You kind of have these two first minor parts that sound pretty similar, and then it jumps into this nice big major sound, which is a really nice contrast, and then goes back to minor one more time. So I'll run through just the sort of skeleton of the melody, break it down into parts, and then we can add in some cool stuff at the end. So, first phrase sounds like this. That's all on the second fret. First is on the second fret of the D string, and then jumps over to the second fret of the A string. And again. And again. Next phrase sounds like this. So it starts in the open A. Again. One more. Great. Those two together. 1, 2, 3. Nice. So these got some nice long notes. I may resort to playing some sort of tremolo or double stops, but don't worry about that. It's just sort of so I can keep time, so you don't have these long notes that kind of make you lose the beat. So don't worry about doing all the right hand stuff that I may end up throwing in to keep time. We'll get to that at the end. Next phrase starts in the second fret of the D string. And again. And again. And then the last phrase. So those four phrases together sound like this. try that. 1, 2, 3. Awesome. So that's sort of the first A, if we're thinking about that form A, B, A. Second one is almost identical to the first. It sounds like this. And the end is a little different. It sounds like this. So let's just work on that last phrase. Starts on the second fret of the A string. And again. One more time. Awesome. So, let's play those two sections together. The first one kind of goes bum, 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 bum. At the end of the first one, and it resolves at the end of the second one. So, 1, 2, 3. Second. Ending. So that's AA. Now we've got the B and then one more A. So the B starts like this. Starts in the second fret of the A string. And again. Let's go into the open E string there. One more time. Nice. Next phrase. Starts in the fifth fret of the A string, kind of rocks up to the open E. Back to the 5, and then 2, 5. Let's play that again. One more time. Next phrase. Actually, let's put those two phrases together. Sounds like this. Next phrase is the same as the first phrase. And then the last phrase that same sort of rock. 5, 0, 5, 2. And just ends on that 2 instead of going back to the 5 like it did in the second phrase. So that whole B part phrase all the way through sounds like this. Play it a couple times. 1, 2, 3. So let's do that one more time. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so now I've got A, B, and the last A is exactly the same as the second B. Oh, sorry, the last A is the same as the second A. So it sounds like this. that's the whole tune. So let's play through it once, A, B, A, and then we can break it down, add in some double stops, and I'll talk about the chords a little bit. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Here comes the B part. A again. And that's the whole tune. All right, so start to think about the chords a little bit. Actually, maybe what I'll talk about first is just sort of something you can do. You know, you got these long notes, so bum, 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 ba. And rather than just let that note kind of ring out, it can kind of make you lose a bit of the melody. So you can either add in, what I've been doing is kind of switching up back and forth between playing a sort of little rhythmic and that kind of keeps the beat going a little bit. So I'll just show you that rhythm. It's a little kind of shuffle in the right hand. Dum, da, da, dum, da, da, dum, da, da, dum. And then you add it into the notes, into the melody. So that's one option. But if you do that every time, you're kind of playing with the balance of how rigid do you want the tune to sound and how sort of flowing do you want it to sound. And that's, if you do that all the time, it's going to sound pretty rigid, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just a sort of a matter of personal taste at this point. Or another thing to maybe make it flow a little bit more is to put in some tremolo with your right hand. And there's a lesson on tremolo over at mandolessons.com. I won't get into it too much here, but the main idea is to get your pick at a nice angle, which it should be at anyway, just for general picking, rather than parallel to the strings. You want it at a bit of an angle by tipping up the neck of the instrument. And then also by keeping your hand nice and loose and kind of working your way up to getting that nice smooth. And another thing I'm doing is I'm kind of adding in some slides. So what I'm doing is that slide from the first to the second fret, and I kind of overemphasized it there. So that's another little option to kind of spice things up. So let's move on to some double stops and chords, though. So as I said, tune is in E minor. And the B part goes to C major. But a nice E minor chord that I like to use, you may already know it, is this open, 2, 2, open. Open on the G, 2 on the D, 2 on the A, open E. And so when we hit these notes, I'm really just hitting both of those middle sets of strings on the second fret, adding some tremolo. Get a nice little double stop. And for that E minor, it's still an E minor chord, I'm adding my second finger on the 4th fret of the G string. along with the second fret of the D string is our melody. And whenever you're doing this, you really want to make sure that the melody is coming through. So rather than going, that's kind of emphasizing this lower note, but really the melody is. So you want that higher note to ring out. Alright, so moving on to the next one. I just played it. So I played this as an E minor, 5, 2, and then open A string. Again, that open A is your melody, so you really want that to be the bulk of the note, but maybe kind of sweep through those lower notes. Again, 5, 2, open, nice A minor chord, and then back to that double stop there. Second A. Got that double stop. Lower double stop. A minor. And it just ends with that lower shape double stop. Again, emphasizing the second fret on the D string, which is the melody. Then we get to the fun part. The B part, which goes to C major. So we have, and when we hit that open E, that's when we want that nice big C major. So a C that I like to use, you can use this C major, which you may already know. But I really like this, in this context of this tune, I really like, which is open on the G string, and then 5th fret on the D string, 3rd fret on the A string, open E. So with those notes, and again we're kind of sweeping through, adding a little tremolo. So for that second line, what I'm doing, 5, 0, 5, 2, 5, and when I hit that 2, I'm sweeping through what is essentially a part of a G chord here. And then going up to the 5th fret. So it's just the bottom 3 strings, open G, open D, 2nd fret on the A. And finishing it up with that 5th fret while these open strings continue to ring. So those two parts together. And then back to C. And then we have this B7 chord, which brings us back to the minor. And I really like this as it doesn't have a 7 in it, a dominant 7, but it still implies the same chord, which is the 1st fret on the D string and the 2nd fret on the A string. So it kind of looks like your C chord down 1 fret, so you're going from a C chord to a B chord. And then back to your A part again, which is all those minor chords. And so that's a little basics on how to get those double stops in there. So play around with it, vary up the mood. You can play it kind of funky, you can play it kind of smooth, mournful. However you feel like altering the feel of the song is really good practice to kind of try a couple different options. So that pretty much sums up the lesson here. I'll play it through one more time. Thanks for watching. Again, more lessons at mandolessons.com. A bunch of mandolin-related instrument information over there. So one more time. 1, 2, 3. there you have it. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you again soon. Bye-bye.